Hi, everyone. So I would like to take a look at your next, your week ahead, your next 7 days. But I think I'm going to do a pick a card for you because it helps to really tune into the subtle energies among all of us in our group here. So I'm going to pull a card from each of these three decks. So from the Light Seers, we have the 10 of Cups. From the Everyday Witch, the Knight of Pentacles, and from the Rider-Waite, the Queen of Pentacles. So just take a moment to look at these cards and kind of see if any one of them is really calling to you or really resonating with you in your situation right now, how you feel like your week is going. So again, we have the 10 of Cups, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Queen of Pentacles. And once you've picked your card, then you can find the timestamps in the description and in the comments. And I will see you in your reading. So for those of you who chose the 10 of Cups from the Light Seers deck, this is going to be your look ahead at the next 7 days. So the 10 of Cups is generally a very happy card. It's usually about family. It's about emotional fulfillment. It's about unconditional love. It's giving and receiving. It's usually, there's a lot of fairness in a situation with the 10 of Cups. There's sometimes affection. So that type of energy from the 10 of Cups. So it looks like you're starting out your week with that kind of an energy, but let's see. Or at least you're coming into the week with that from last week. But let's see what else we get. We have the Knight of Swords, the 5 of Cups, the 3 of Pentacles, the World, and what's underneath? We have Strength, the Knight of Wands, the Lovers, the 3 of Wands, and the Queen of Swords. And underneath we have the 2 of Swords. So it looks like there's something that's happening perhaps in your family. I do feel like I'm being called to think that this is a family situation, although it doesn't have to be, but it definitely is a group of people that are closely connected, bonded, maybe on an emotional level. And it looks as though you may be grieving something within that community, within that group of people that you love unconditionally. It seems like you're kind of coming together over some kind of a common grief. So maybe something has happened recently. You're coming into the week with that kind of an energy. You're being asked to focus on, so the Knight of Swords is very good at detaching emotionally. So this is an extremely emotional card, the 10 of Cups. And the Knight of Swords is better at keeping his or her emotions more at arm's length. They're able to step back from the situation and see the bigger picture before making any decisions whatsoever. So it looks like this week you are focusing on perhaps not being quite so emotional about it before making a decision about something. There is definitely something that you have to make a decision. And I do, again, feel like it has something to do with your family or a close group of friends. And so it does look to me like you're going to be able to handle that part this week where if you were still sitting in this energy of the 10 of Cups and the 5 of Cups, like you may have been last week or coming into this week, you're able to more detach from it. So you can make You can still make a decision from your heart, because the Lover's card is about making a decision from your heart, but you're not making an emotionally driven decision. It's combining your head and your heart. Because it does feel like there's an energy coming off of this 10 of Cups and this 5 of Cups, that perhaps someone is clinging on to something too tightly that it looks like needs to be let go, needs to be, let go of. And that may be what's causing the grieving, is there's something or someone that you're holding on to maybe too tightly that was once a 10 of Cups for you, or part of your 10 of Cups. So it looks like the challenge for you this week is really going to be about indecision, and that maybe bringing other people into your energy with the 3 of Pentacles, and then the Queen of Swords is showing up here. This is telling me that to kind of call on the help of other people to help you make this decision, to get a strategy about it. So because I'm seeing the Knight of Swords and the Queen of Swords, these remind me of family members, because they're in the same suit. It makes me feel like they're in the same family, especially when we start with the 10 of Cups. So I am getting the impression that there may be someone in your family group or this close community of people who might be able to really help you make a strategy or help you make this decision. Like, in other words, it seems like you feel right now like you have to make this decision alone, but it's really looking like you don't have to. No, there's definitely someone here in your energy. And again, it's feeling like a family member or someone who's going through this similar grieving process as you. So if you are grieving as a family, it's someone who really understands what you're going through. And I do sort of feel like if you express yourself to this person, then you might be able to sort of work through some of these feelings that are overwhelming to you with this 5 of Cups. There is a strong message coming through here because we have these 2 major arcana together here. And of course, the Lovers is also a major arcana. But this is really about the completion of something. This is like bringing a cycle to an end. So whether someone has left your family or someone has left your family in the physical sense, it does feel like there is some kind of a completion to something is really what I'm getting pretty strongly. But there is a very subtle energy around you in the astral realm that is really making you go through what seems like it would be a very difficult emotional time for you. But with the Strength showing up here, there is wind in your back, so to speak. The universe is really kind of propping you up through this because the universe understands what you're going through and the gravity of the situation, and is making sure that you have support both by people in the physical sense and perhaps things in the astral sense that are really with you and helping you with this. There's also a side message coming through here with these wands over here that you're maybe leaving the week with a new creative idea, that this sort of being put through the ringer, whatever it is you're dealing with or grieving with other people and putting something to a complete end with the world, it feels like it's making you get in touch with your creative side. So that might not be for everyone, but it's a strong message coming through that it's really helping you to get in touch with your creative side. And also what I'm getting really strongly is music. So if you are a musician and you haven't really worked on your craft in a while, it could also be coming through here. And I see her drum here too, which is making me think of it, but it almost feels like music could really help you heal whatever this wound is from this 5 of Cups, whatever you're grieving. It feels like music, or at least something creative, is going to help you really push through this and heal from this. And with the 3 of Wands here, you're going to leave the week maybe not feeling totally healed, but maybe feeling a sense of hope that whatever you are trying to heal, and perhaps with music or some kind of a creative endeavor, that you can feel that energy, that it will be coming in. Of course, you're not going to be fully healed by the end of the week. We set this to be 7 days, but it does feel very much like you're going to leave the week feeling optimistic, like, okay, I can get through this. I can do this. And again, I think music or some creative endeavor is really going to be helpful for you in this time. So the advice here really is just about you needing to make a decision about something that keeps coming up over and over, is this need to make what feels like a very emotional and heartbreaking maybe decision. So the strongest advice that's coming through here is to really get in touch with your intuition and believe in yourself, knowing that you do have the answer. You just have to almost detach emotionally from this, like we said, or take a step back and look at it from a different perspective, and definitely connect with other family members or other people in your energy to help you really kind of get the strategy down, make the decision, and also to heal. Find something that heals you, and usually creative things do that. So I'm really sorry. This looks like a tough week for those of you who chose the 10 of Cups. Please let me know if this was resonant for you, and we will do this again sometime. Thanks, everybody. So for those of you who chose the Knight of Pentacles, we're going to take a look at your next 7 days. We're going to take a look at your week ahead. So the energy from the Knight of Pentacles is really kind of giving me this, okay, let me back up a second. The Knight of Pentacles is a very hard worker, a very diligent worker, someone who is extremely reliable and very detail oriented. So it feels to me like you have some kind of an idea that you're working on. So far, this feels like it could be a work reading, but we'll see what else comes out in the cards. But it feels like there may be some kind of a new income source. I don't know. We'll see. It could be a new job, but I don't know quite yet. But those are sort of the energies I feel so far coming from the cards. But let's see what else we can get here. So we have the Page of Wands, Justice, 7 of Cups, Ace of Swords. Let's see what's underneath. 7 of Swords, Queen of Cups, 3 of Swords, 6 of Wands, and Strength. Underneath we have the 9 of Swords. So you are coming into this week with this energy of something new. And it looks, like I said before, some kind of a work endeavor, some kind of a creative project, maybe a new job, something along those lines. Make it make sense for you. And I think it's because you're also coming into this week with a broken heart about something. I'm getting a message here about you spreading your wings and flying. And I'm getting that because I'm really being drawn to this bird in the window here. It's almost like this bird is you. Hopefully you can see that. But there's no one in the bed, but there's a bird flying. So what I just got from this card, which I've never gotten from this particular card before, is that you got up out of the bed and you're spreading your wings and you're flying. So whatever perhaps was in your energy from last week or from your past that was making you feel brokenhearted, it's like you've decided not to do that anymore. You got up and you flew off and you became this Knight of Pentacles. That's what I just got from that. So you're focusing on something else, something that's going to make you happier, something that's going to get you out of this bed. So that's great. It looks like it's a great way to sort of move into this new coming week. So then we have the Page of Wands and the Six of Wands, and it looks like you are focusing on really kind of stirring up the energy for yourself. You feel very motivated, and it looks like you're going to have a lot of success with it too, based on what I'm seeing here. It feels like what you're leaving behind is this feeling that you can't do it, that maybe you didn't have the confidence to do it before, or maybe you were letting your fears or frustrations get in the way. And then all of a sudden you just got out of bed, spread your wings and said, no, I'm going to become the Page of Wands today. I'm going to start my own adventure today, and I'm going to be amazing at it. I'm going to be a baller. I'm going to win. It's like you just woke up and just decided that you weren't going to be heartbroken anymore, that you've got these ideas and you're going to take them and make them a reality. Cool. So it does look like there is things going on in the background, because we do have these major arcana here right in the middle with Justice and Strength. And it feels like whatever was wrong in your world, the universe is correcting itself. Whatever broke your heart, it's like, it feels like the scales are balancing, and that you are how do I want to say this? Whatever was done to you in the past that you felt was wrong, the universe is correcting that, and everything is coming back into balance. All of the wrongs are being made right now, which is probably what's powering you up right now and making you feel so strong in this energy to get out of bed, spread your wings and say, no, I'm going to do this thing and I'm going to kill it. I'm going to be awesome at it. And it's like all this energy coming off of you that's like, it's all happening, ready or not, here I come, it's all happening. And I feel like in the subtle realms, the universe is really boosting your energy and pushing you through that. That is what I'm getting. There is a message coming through here about options. So, and there's a person here in your energy too. So this may have to do more with a love situation than a work situation, now that I'm seeing more of what's coming through here. Because it does look like you are starting to see that whatever it was that broke your heart is not the end game. It's just not. You woke up and decided, no, wait a second. I have lots of options. I can, and what it looks like with this Queen of Cups here is it looks like there's someone already directly in your energy that you're interested in, that you may be talking to just via text messages right now, or you're waiting for them right now to text you back because you're excited to hear from them. Like, that's the energy that's coming from here and the message that's coming through. Or that if you don't know that you have options, I'm here to tell you that the cards are telling you that you do. But it feels like because you have all this enthusiasm, it almost feels like you already know that. And which is why you got out of bed and were like, forget it. I'm awesome. I've always been awesome. I'm not letting this, whatever this was that broke my heart, get in the way anymore. So it does look like you're leaving the week as the Ace of Swords. And that's really about knowing the truth in a situation. You before you had these three swords stuck in the middle of this candy box, and you've pulled the one sword of truth from that, which is really that you are amazing and people can see you for how amazing you are, and not to let this one upset, this one heartbreak, this one person, whatever it was, make it make sense for you. You're not letting that get in the way of the truth, which is that you are amazing. And it does feel like with this Ace of Swords here too, that this is a good time for you to really receive all of these good things in your life. And with this Seven of Swords here, this is really just telling me that you are really going to have the discipline, because the sevens for me are all about having the discipline to control your thoughts. Well, with the swords, with the seven of swords, all the sevens are discipline. The swords are specifically about thoughts. So this to me is you taking control with this ace of swords over this energy that you had before of not feeling like you were enough, or not feeling like you had the confidence, or again, like we said, this fear of bad things happening. You're using, again, you're taking these seven swords here and you're turning it into your one sword of truth. And you're leaving the week like that. So, and it doesn't surprise me because of all of this like surge of energy that's sweeping through the week for you. That's really feeling like you woke up and just said, forget it. I don't care about this anymore. I'm chasing after this now. So that's really, that is really a good reading. So the advice that's coming through here is really, because we had the 9 of Swords underneath the deck. And so the advice here is, again, to really sort out which of these swords is not your truth and find the one that is the truth. And honestly, just from reading your week ahead here, it really looks like you should be really proud of yourself and how far you have come, because you're coming into this week as the 3 of Swords and you're taking the week by storm and you're leaving with your sword of truth. So that's really the advice, is to just be proud of yourself and find that one sword of truth that's in here. And if you don't know that there's a person in your energy who looks like they really care about you a lot, you may already know that. But if you don't, look around, because there's someone around you. That's the advice. So good reading. So let me know if this was resonant for you, and we will do this again sometime. Thanks, everybody. So for those of you who chose the Queen of Pentacles from the Rider-Waite deck, this is your week ahead reading. So the Queen of Pentacles is a very grounded energy. The Queen of Pentacles is usually pretty, not usually, always very nurturing and has a lot of resources. Sometimes she's even recognized for things, for her professional work. Sometimes the Queen of Pentacles is my famous court card. It really just depends on the situation, but certainly we'll see when we get more cards. But you're definitely coming into the week with a very grounded energy and looking like you are able to have the resources you need to do something. And you're coming in as what's looking like a nurturer. But let's pull some more cards and see what else we can get from this reading. So there's the King of Cups, the 5 of Swords, the Queen of Cups, the Queen of Wands. What's underneath? The 9 of Wands, Judgment, the Knight of Wands, the 8 of Wands, and the 10 of Pentacles. We have the 6 of Swords underneath. So let's see here. So it does feel to me like there is, even though there's a lot of court cards here, I'm seeing what looks to be one other person in this reading, but let's see where we're going with this. This is starting to feel like it's shaping up to be a love reading, but again, I want to see what comes out as the messages start to come through. But there is definitely a person coming in with you from last week or your past, last week at a minimum. It does feel like this person who's around you is pretty much a go-getter. They're showing up as the Knight of Wands. This is the Knight of Wands knows what they want and goes after it. And also the Knight of Wands is a protector and has a lot of determination. So the person that you are coming into the week with, let's call it, is someone who feels like the opposite energy from you. This is a very masculine energy. This is a very feminine energy. This is a nurturer. This is a protector. This is someone who is very grounded. This is someone who's off and running at all times. So there's a lot of differences between the two of you as you come into the week. But what's interesting is you're being called to look at what you have in common. And the interesting thing is that what you have in common is nothing to do with the way the two of you showed up in this reading. So what do I mean by that? It looks like what you have in common is the ability to love unconditionally and the ability to love each other unconditionally. So what I'm really getting strongly from these 4 cards right here, because there's 4 court cards coming in here, but these 2 are looking like they're you and these 2 are looking like they're your person. That regardless of your differences, so if you've had some problems in the past, if you're feeling like, and I'm almost getting this sense coming off of these 2 cards that there was a separation, because sometimes the Knight of Wands can be kind of flighty and take off. So that may have happened in this situation, that someone's been flighty or someone's recently separated from you. But it feels like there's a pattern perhaps that's going on there with the two of you, which is why you're being asked to focus on the fact that regardless of your differences, regardless of the patterns, regardless of maybe even karmic cycles that are coming into this relationship, that you're being asked to really look at the unconditional love that you share with each other. You're really being asked to focus on that. But why? Why are you being asked to focus on that? So let's see here. So you have the 5 of Swords coming in with the 8 of Wands. So this 5 of Swords energy is usually, it's a pretty awful energy, especially if you're dealing with a love situation. This is a lot of fighting, a lot of maybe mind games, maybe manipulation could be going on in this situation. And with the 8 of Wands coming in here, there's a message coming through about standing up for yourself and speaking your truth to your person about how you're feeling in this situation. If they've done you dirty in some way, something petty, something immature, the Knight of Wands is not the most mature energy in the deck. So if you're feeling some kind of way, your challenge this week is going to be explaining to them, expressing to them with this 8 of Wands, what you don't like in the situation, but to do it as the King of Cups, to do it in a respectful way, to do it in a compassionate way. And also the King of Cups, which just dawned on me as I'm talking about him, is that the King of Cups is so in control of his emotions that he has no attachment to the emotional outcome, because he knows it doesn't matter, because he's in control of his emotions anyway. So there's a really strong feeling about confronting the situation head on. So if you've been avoiding conflict, or more, what's coming through stronger, I should say, is your person might be the one who's avoiding confrontation because they look like they're the ones who take off when things get tough. That's just what's coming through here, where you're just seated here wondering when your person is going to calm down or come back, and your person looks like they're a little bit chaotic and all over the place. But regardless, there is a message here for you to remain respectful and compassionate and not care whatsoever about the outcome of the situation, that you're just going to be compassionate, but as the Queen of Pentacles, you're also going to stay grounded, you're going to stay stable, and you're going to feel secure in the situation, regardless of the outcome, regardless of what happens in the situation. So there is a message coming through here too, because now you're showing up as the Queen of Wands. The message that's coming through strongly supports a little bit of what I've already said here, but bear with me for a second. I'll get there. So now you're showing up as a third archetype. You're showing up as the Queen of Pentacles, the King of Cups, and the Queen of Wands. And not only the Queen of Wands, but a Queen of Wands with the Nine of Wands. And so the Queen of Wands can sometimes be an emotional storm, especially when I see it coming in with the Nine of Wands, that you can sometimes perhaps confront these situations with your person, these patterns you get into, these karmic cycles you get into, whatever manipulations or mind games are being played in this situation. You could tend to be really affected by that on an emotional level and become unstable or engage in these fights and feel like you are the wounded warrior, as often people will call this Nine of Wands, that you just feel like you can't take it anymore. But I think that's contributing to the karmic cycles, that when these things happen, if your person takes off running and you get angry and you just start feeling like you have to watch your back all the time and you don't trust this person, that I think the universe is really saying here to try a different approach. Try being the King of Cups, because the more you're the King of Cups towards the situation and being compassionate, respectful, but not caring whatsoever about the outcome, I think the more you're going to see that side of your person as well. Like I said in the beginning, to see the commonalities that you have, what you have in common is going to really help this situation. In other words, the more loving you are, the more loving they're going to be. And as much as that might infuriate you in this moment, because you are showing up as the Queen of Wands, it might really kind of just boil your blood to think, no, I'm not going to be the one to be nice. I'm not going to be the one to reach out first. They're the ones who play the mind games, and they're the ones who take off on me. I totally understand. What these cards are saying is to try to be compassionate towards them and see, because they are very clearly showing up as the Queen of Cups to your King of Cups. Has nothing to do with gender. Anyone can be a king, anyone can be a queen. But you're very clearly showing up having this same energy, and you might just have to be the bigger person in order to stop the cycle. And it might pay off for you, is what I'm seeing. And the reason I think that is because you're ending this week with Judgment and the 10 of Pentacles. And these are very extremely powerful energies, both of them. So the Judgment is coming in here, which is really about your awakening to the situation, realizing that there are karmic cycles at play and that you do need to stop the pattern. One of you has to be the first one to stop the pattern. So if you don't stop the pattern and continue this to loop around, then you might as well call it quits with this relationship, right? Because it doesn't really seem like either of you is super happy with this Nine of Wands energy. So one of you has to be the first one to stop the pattern. One of you has to be the one to wake up to the situation and realize that this is probably a spiritual connection, and that one of you has to be the one to be first. One of you has to go first. And it looks like it's you in this situation. But the good news is it also looks like you are going to be responded to in a wonderful way from your person who's going to return the love for you. And it also looks like, because when I see the King of Cups and the Queen of Cups come together as a couple, there's a lot of healing that takes place with each other and for each other in the relationship. And then I'm seeing you leaving the week as a 10 of Pentacles, which is a card of longevity and knowing that this could be your long-term relationship. There's almost like a spiritual life purpose feeling that's coming off of this Judgment and this 10 of Pentacles. But as long as you stay buried in this loop of game playing and fighting, the longer it's going to take for you to get to this point where you need to be, where you're having this spiritual awakening, realizing that you're healing each other, and also perhaps even finding a life purpose together. There is a divine path, it looks like, with the Judgment and the 10 of Pentacles, where it's almost like your divine path is the same. and you're being guided towards that, but you can't get there as long as you continue this nonsense. So your advice, and we did see at the bottom of the deck, was the Six of Swords, which is about really moving past. It's the same message. It's really moving past the turmoil of the Queen of Wands and the Nine of Wands, and really trying to get to smoother sailing somewhere, which very much looks like this. And it's not just smoother sailing. It's a divine path that you're being led to. So I think the real advice coming off of here is to ask yourself, is it worth it to you as the Queen of Wands to sort of swallow your pride and get control of perhaps the egoic side of you and really present yourself as the King of Cups and show that you have learned the lesson about this relationship, and then you can really heal each other and move along to your divine path, as we've said. So you really have to ask yourself that and that might be hard. It's really hard, I know, because I'm an Aries and I am frequently the Queen of Wands. So I can relate to this a lot. To have to be the one to take the higher road and be the one to come in unconditionally loving can be very difficult, but I do think it's going to pay off. So that is, that's the only thing you have to ask yourself this week, and you know the rest. So I think that's it. I think we got there. So let me know if this was your reading, how it was resonant for you, and we will do this again sometime. Thanks, everybody. Bye.